Obviously, really good team win tonight. First, I want to start off by thanking all the fans that came, all the fans that stayed. Obviously, football season is back. Huntington was alive. I appreciate everyone's efforts. Appreciate the administrative and the safety team that helped make it as smooth as possible to get everybody in the stadium and then get everybody back in the stadium. A complete university win tonight, not only just on the field by the players, but the entire staff and everybody involved. So obviously still got a lot of work to do. With 40 new players, got an opportunity to see some guys in some live game action and see how they responded. Hats off to Stony Brook. They did some things that kind of took some things away we thought we were going to have, which made us kind of adjust. So hats off to them as well. But obviously really good way to start the season with a win.
Coach, how do you handle that delay and trying to get, not even knowing how long the stoppage will be and getting back in game?
Yeah, that's kind of our plan. We were very thorough. I don't know if you remember ECU last year. We had a plan. We were right on that plan. Actually, we had just ordered the food because once you hit, past a certain amount of time, you got to refuel. So we probably got about 200 sandwiches left over for you guys if you want to grab one on the way out. But it's something we talked about. We looked at the weather earlier in the week and said, hey, if we have a delay, here's our plan. This morning when we met as a staff, we talked about Aaron, our athletic trainer, BA, our strength coach, and Sherrod Everett, our chief of staff. We had a plan of exactly what we were going to do. Obviously, the time you don't know, but we got some markers in there that we have as a plan. Once you hit an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, certain things that we do. We kept guys moving. And then we went back out, and the beauty of it is the plan works because when we went back out, we kind of had some more energy. So that's good, the lesson to learn from, to teach the guys we got a plan for everything. You just got to trust the process. But really good job by our support administrative team kind of working that plan as we go.
You mentioned that energy, but, AJ comes out of the gate with a big play on that first offensive play back. Did that help?
Yeah, we talked about it. We went in the locker room. We just didn't feel like we were playing in a rhythm. We did some good things. Obviously, not knowing what Stony Brook was going to do didn't allow us to kind of anticipate some things pre-snap. But we felt like we left a lot of opportunities out there in those first, 2 or 3 series. So we talked about what they were doing. We, kind of eliminated some stuff we thought they were going to do that they weren't, and kind of went back and said, okay, based on what they're doing, what do we have in the plan that works? And it was really good for AJ. To strike it up in there and get a long run, explosive run, which, kind of sparked a little bit of fire under the team and kind of got us going offensively, for the rest of the day.
Defensive line set the tone from the start. They got a ton of pressure, and that kind of carried through the whole night. Did you kind of feel that as well?
Yeah, we talked about, the depth at the defensive line being something that we felt like we had, coming in this year. Coach Street did a good job of rotating a bunch of guys. Again, we're trying to see, like, with 40 new guys, who do we really have? What can they do in game situation? So I thought, defensively up front, we were able to kind of, stop the run without having to blitz or add guys to the box. So that was good. Obviously, we played a lot of guys, so we got an opportunity to evaluate some of those guys. Some of those guys haven't played a lot of football, even though they may transferred from X, Y, or Z school. So it was good to see them in live action tonight.
You had a chance to see all 3 quarterbacks, Coach. You want to reflect on that?
Yeah, like we talked about, we got real competition in that room. Obviously, Stone started it off, and kind of everything we kind of gave him, coming into the game was a little bit different from what they were doing. They were playing true kind of coverage, keep everything in front of you. Didn't pressure as much as we thought they would. They did some things front-wise to kind of eliminate having to bring some guys. I thought kind of once we came back after the break, he found a little bit of a rhythm. We had planned to put Braylon in either at the end of the second quarter, beginning of the second half. With the break in there, it kind of changed what we did. But, for him, he was able to kind of sit back and listen, that whole first half of what they're doing, what we're going to go to. How are we still going to get our receivers open with what they were doing? And then we talked about, when we came in for the delay, let's not try to force anything. Let's just be efficient. And I thought when you looked at the coming out of the delay before we went into halftime, we were a lot more efficient. Running the ball, take what the defense gives you. When throws are there to be made, we made them. When catches are there to be made, we made some catches. I think you saw Metcalf, make some catches over the middle, which were really good. But I thought as a whole, the quarterback room was efficient. We didn't turn the ball over. We didn't put the ball on the ground. Cole threw his first touchdown pass today, which was good. And going back, that was the big emphasis. Take care of the ball and be efficient. Explosions will come. The big plays will come. But if we can't be efficient and get bored with efficiency, that's where you want to be, because that means you're taking what the defense is giving you. It means you're seeing what you need to see, and I thought all three of them did a good job of that as the game went on.
About Metcalf's just versatility over the middle, did some good things in the return game. Is that kind of what you expected?
Yeah, he gives us a different dynamic. We had some other guys we thought we were going to be able to get involved based on what they were doing, but he gives us that dynamic to have that mid to intermediate pass game, and that's kind of where, when you talk air raid, it's not just, bombs over Baghdad. It's that mid to intermediate pass range, and then when you take that away, that's when you start to get your stuff on the outside to Fitz and Braylon and Chester. So I thought overall the offense was efficient enough to take what the defense was giving them. When they give you the over the middle intermediate, you got to catch it and make some plays. I thought Metcalf did some good things in the return game. We haven't had a effective return game in the punt return world for a while. We've had some guys who can catch it and field it, but we haven't got guys that had a little bit of juice. He showed some flash tonight in that as well. It's first time doing it, so he's still getting better at it. But I thought he showed a lot of versatility just in overall playing football.
Do you go into next week now feeling like you've seen a lot of your guys in game time situations, and do you know more about your team after tonight?
Yeah, I know a lot more. It's interesting because a lot of the things that showed up in practice, a lot of the things that, we kind of, hey, this is what this guy is, or this is what this guy is typically done, it showed up in the game. The one area that I thought was probably better than I anticipated was I thought we did a good job up front. Now, I haven't watched the film, but I thought for the most part, with 4 new guys, I thought those guys played well together. The communication they were having when they were coming off the field was really good. They were seeing the same thing. They were communicating the calls. I thought we did a good job of keeping the quarterback upright. I thought we did a good job of running the ball efficiently when we needed to. Obviously, we still got to continue to get better at it. But overall, I thought the guys that we were trying to see, okay, this guy's new, what's he going to do? I think we got a good enough start, right? Now we got to go back and coach them. Now we got to go back and say, hey, this is what we were talking about in practice about your details or your fundamentals. Here's where it carries over into the game.
Do you expect to see that quarterback competition continue to develop over this week, or?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think again, now that you're going to have current film, I think you have a whole different game plan. We watched St. Francis film for 2 weeks, and maybe 30% of what we watched they did. You know what I mean? So you don't know. And as a coach, you got to prepare them for, what they could do, but then you got to be able to adjust. And I think it's very difficult when you start looking at one team, but you're playing another team, and you don't know if they're doing the same. Like you're looking at the safety from St. Francis. Well, I don't know if the safety from Stony Brook can backpedal like that guy or not. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit difficult. It's difficult for coaches. It's really difficult for kids. So I thought we did a good job of adjusting as the game went on and trusting what the eyes were seeing. The iPads made a huge difference, obviously, for us today because of that. When we first started looking at some stuff early in the game, it was kind of like, oh, I didn't see that. It happened too fast. Okay, well, this is what's happening. So I think it'll continue to evolve. I know everyone was kind of, well, you're holding out. It was a legitimate competition. It was legitimately, down to the last, really Thursday, that we had to make a decision. I think, again, it shows we got 2, 3 capable quarterbacks, depending on what we're doing. Obviously, you got, the legs of the first 2 guys who can create a little bit in the run game. And then Cole did a really good job of getting through his reads and progressions today as well. So I feel the same, as far as the depth in the room, giving us an opportunity to win. I think it creates a lot of challenges for defense when the quarterback can run. I think it also creates a lot of challenges for defense when you have a quarterback that can get through his reads quickly. So I think we're in a good spot. Obviously, we got to, put a good game plan together and figure out which one fits that game plan once we start looking at the next opponent. But I feel good about it.
Well, you come out of the weather delay, and Had some lightning yourself, huh?
Yep. Yeah, basically, I just had to put the trust in my O-line, man. I know we've been working all week about the aiming points, the blocking assignments, and I know they've been working hard. So all I had to do was trust in them, and the rest is history.
You know, did you sense kind of a renewed energy after that run because you guys took off after that point?
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. EGB, energy generating behaviors. You know, Coach Huff emphasizes on that. We all emphasizing on that. So with somebody, you just building off each other. That's all it is, building off each other.
You talk about your burst there, they had some pretty good blocking up front, and then it was just a foot race, right?
Yeah, exactly. Just basically trying to finish runs. You know, that's how we practice. We practice finish runs, finishing through the end zone. So it was normal to just finish all the way through. Pretty normal.
You've probably been waiting for that moment a while, huh?
Yeah, yes sir, yes sir.
What's that do to you guys offensively? I'm sorry, but
No,
just to charge you up, how does that affect the team? So, a big play like that.
Yeah, you know, it gets everybody going. You know, it lets everybody know it's time to go, especially when you just make a big run like that. And, you know, I couldn't do it without my O-line. You know, they really been pushing, and I'm just grateful for them.
About just the overall team performance today. A little bit of a slow start, you
Yeah.
had the weather delay, but end up with a convincing win.
Yeah.
Just overall thoughts about today.
Yeah, so, you know, it's always going to be some adversity, but it's how you battle back. It's how you fight adversity. You know, ain't no game going to be clean. Ain't no game going to be perfect, but the strongest survive. So you just got to keep fighting to the end. That's all it is.
I had a front row seat to this quarterback competition. You got to see all three of them tonight.
Yeah.
You know, Coach has talked a lot about the depth in that room. Do you kind of see it that way as well?
Yeah, I see it like it's just all competition. You know, Braylon, he do a lot with his feet. Stone, he's more as like the accurate thrower. So it's just all competition. That everybody brings something different. So, you know, it's just whatever we need at that specific moment. But both of them are very talented players, though.
You know, there was talk earlier in the week about not overlooking Stony Brook after what happened with Albany last year.
Yeah.
You feel like you guys executed the game plan and kept the focus on doing what you guys can do well?
Yeah, I feel like we worked really hard on executing the game plan, actually. You know, you can't overlook nobody. It don't matter. This is Division I football at the end of the day. So, you know, everybody coming to eat and everybody trying to make it somewhere. So we treat every game like it's our last, and that's how we approach it.
Everybody good?
I was going to ask one more. You know, over the next week, obviously, big game next week, exciting opportunity, a team that you guys saw last year
Yep.
at home. But, you know, just what are you looking forward to about that matchup down there in Blacksburg?
Yeah, so basically I'm just looking to compete, you know. They came here last year and we're going to their place, so, you know, they're going to be fired up. But we basically got to just go and then do our job.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate y'all.
It's been a whirlwind of a summer for you, but you get to start tonight. What have these first, you know, couple months been like for you as you got adjusted to new settings and got integrated in the offense and kind of made it your own?
Yeah, I mean, props to these guys for kind of just accepting me into this team and then the role I have. Like, obviously, I want to give a shout out to this quarterback room. We're super close. They accepted me from day one, and competition brings out the best in all of us. So it's cool to hang around these guys and grow as people and then as players and help each other out. So, I mean, it's been a fun couple months since I've been here, and I'm just excited to be here. I know this is a great place to be, and yeah.
Obviously, a little bit of a slow start, but after that weather delay, it seems like it just took off for you guys. Did you feel a difference coming out of the break?
Yeah, I mean, especially with the iPads, you get to watch and see, like, it's like watching practice film. You get to grow on what you see in real game time, like in moments. So that was cool to see. And then obviously it took a little bit to settle in, but I feel like once I settled in, I was able just to play my game. Obviously, like, I saw some things that I missed that I can be better at, but at the end of the day, just take those and grow from them.
You know, how different was using the iPads in game? Obviously, a totally different
Yeah.
You know, switch for college football, but
It was way different, but extremely helpful because, like I said, it's like watching practice, but in real game time. You kind of get to see the leverage of different players and what covers they're playing, what they're doing differently, what they're doing the same, and it just kind of helps the quarterback out a lot, just seeing, like, pre-snap what he needs to identify.
obviously you go through this battle through fall camp, and you know, the decision was made late in the week, but it just feel good to get out there and play and,
Yeah.
and not have to Not have to worry about anything else?
Yeah, it felt great to get out there and play again because I mean I really didn't play like seriously till the second game last year. And then after that, after I caught my full body cramp, I didn't really play the rest of the year. So it was fun just to be able to get back out there and just compete and play the game I love. So
One, a full body cramp sounds awful.
yeah,
Two,
it was.
how about the playmakers around you tonight? Obviously, a lot of different receivers got in on the action.
Yeah.
AJ has a big run, but did that kind of help you settle in when some of those guys stepped up and made?
Yeah, those guys are phenomenal. Like just being able to get the ball in those guys' hands, it makes my job easy, the quarterback's job easy. But I'm just super blessed to have those playmakers around me. And then the O-line did a phenomenal job in just adjusting to the different fronts and style of play they were playing. So props to them. And then we just had to execute the play that was given to us. And I feel like the guys did a great job adjusting to the coaching points. So.
How was the coach-to-player headset? How did that in the helmet? How did that go?
I feel like it makes the operation a lot faster and a lot cleaner. Like we're able to hear the call in our helmet without having to look at a signal, and like communicate to the O-line, communicate to the receivers if we have to, and then like it takes like a lot of less time to identify the defense and get our eyes on the defense because you can make a call and then kind of look around and see what you got a little bit faster. So I think it just cleans up the operation.
Big opportunity next week.
Yeah, for sure.
What are you looking forward to about going down to Blacksburg?
I mean, obviously, the fan base, the crowd up there it's pretty wild. Like I've seen a ton of Inner Sandman videos or whatever, so that's cool. And just the opportunity to show what you can do against a team like that. You know, just super blessed and just ready to grow from a lot of things this week and get out there.
Everybody good?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
When the defensive line comes out and sets the tone, I mean, we've heard about the depth and talked about the talent, but to see it in action really right away, just how fulfilling was that to kind of see what you've worked immediately?
I think it's very fulfilling. We've been putting in this work since everybody's gotten here. Marshall does a good job with making sure that we're putting in the work consistently, whether it's the winter, summer, fall. We're always putting in the work, so when you finally go out there and be able to have fun and do what you love doing, it brings a lot of fulfillment to you.
Did the stoppage affect you guys much, Michael, just because you just don't know how long you're going to be in the locker room and how long the storm is going to be out?
I mean, it probably did in some kind of way or form, but we still came out there with the same intensity and the same competitiveness that we started off with. So I guess it really didn't, but I guess we'll never really know. But yeah, we still had our minds laser focused and just make sure we had to do everything that we had to do.
And obviously after that weather delay, AJ busts off a big run, and that seemed to bring a ton of energy to the sideline. Do you think that translated to the defensive side after that?
Yeah, everything the offense does translates to the defense. I feel like once the offense get rolling and they bring some excitement, it triggers the defense automatically, like off the rip. And it's vice versa also. When we make big plays and everything like that, it fires up the offense. So it's kind of like we got your back, y'all got our back kind of thing.
Walk me through the sack celebration. Owen had his, the share of
The little
celebration.
the six shooter.
Yeah, you got a little archer action going on.
Yeah, it took I'm not gonna lie, it did take a minute to kind of come up with a celebration. It's something that I actually been putting in some time to figure out what I'm gonna do, and then I looked it up, and apparently it's banned in the NFL, so I'm gonna have to come up with another celebration if it gets to that time. But yeah, I don't know, it just came. The first thing that came to my mind was crawling, so yeah.
Obviously you guys keep Stony Brook out of the end zone tonight. And even though there were times when they maybe rattled off a chunk play, you guys seem to rebound well. What do you think worked defensively for you guys?
I think the mix of we got some speed guys, we got some strength guys that hold the gaps. Chris Thomas, one of the guys that we line up to my side, he knows that I'm going to shoot up the field, so he has to play both gaps and sometimes, and it's like vice versa. I get to pressure off the edge and let the quarterback step up to him. So it's kind of like a I got you, you got me kind of things. And we just got a good mix of guys that can either rush the passer or stop the run or take on double teams. Schufer is another guy, for example. He takes on double teams great, and like dudes like that, it's easier to play with, and as long as all of us are helping each other out, I mean that's all you can really ask for.
Big opportunity next week. A team that you guys saw here last year. Just what are you looking forward to about that matchup? Saturday?
I'm looking forward to everything, honestly. I know they're going to have a little chip on their shoulder, especially since we had a victory over them last year. We're going to be at their home, so you know how that energy is. And I think we're all excited. We definitely have to clean up a few things here and there, but I think just overall we just going to have to go in there with the same mentality that we enter every single game, and from there on it should carry over.
We've heard Coach and some of the offensive guys talk about how they use the iPads to kind of review some stuff in the moment. Does that help on the defensive side too? Did you use them any? Or?
Yeah. We used the iPads as soon as we came off the field for each drive. As soon as you come off the field, they got like the little 5 or 3 play series that we just came off the field on, and you get to click a play, and it literally shows you whichever play that you want to see in each down. So I think it's very beneficial. I think the iPads is a level up from what we recently been doing, and I just feel like it's been helping us a lot.
Thank you.
Appreciate y'all.
Chris, you got in the action early. Pass break up there early.
Yes, sir.
And, that group up front created a lot of pressure. Was that important to start out that way?
Yeah, we feel like the D-line, we the group that really can start off the game right. We feel like if we go out there and execute, and just be ourselves, we could cause cohesion as a defense, and everybody can go out there and make plays and fly around.
Some different talents up front as well. You guys can all do a little bit of everything.
Yes, sir.
How fun is that to work with the group like that has so much versatility?
Yeah, it's a real fun thing. And to be honest, at this point, we kind of used to it. We've been, playing together and making plays since spring, So it felt real good for us to finally go out there and, execute against a different color, So that's what it is for them.
You guys came out of the break and AJ ripped off the big play. How
Yes, sir.
much does that kind of, get you guys going on defense too?
Yeah, that get us going a lot. We got something called juice. So whenever it's an offense, kickoff return, whenever a different, how I say this, whenever somebody else do something good, that give us like juice coming on the field, that just boosts our confidence.
Did you, was it nice to feel that energy when you ran out there in the tunnel and you got fans in the stands? That kind of make it real that the season's here?
Yeah, yes, sir. It feel real good. I've been anticipating coming out that tunnel, hearing that Thunder song since fourth quarter. So it just feel good finally being able to go out there, see the fan, get that green smoke going, come out that tunnel. So it was a real great feeling to finally have again.
What was the biggest takeaway for you guys as a defense out of tonight?
I say the young guys, honestly. Once we got closer to the end of the game, the young guys, they went out there and they executed, and they was out there playing just like some older guys. So that's a real good thing for us when the young guys go out there and execute. That just means a lot to us, that they doing what they're supposed to do in the film room and, just gaining knowledge. So that's a real good thing. I say the young guys going out there doing what they're supposed to do.
Now that you have a game on film, does that make, knowing what you need to work on the next week in practice, does that make that easier now that you've seen it in live game action?
Yes, sir. Shoot, I'm probably finna go home tonight and try to see if they put the film up. So that's what we're really on, honestly. Just going back, seeing how we made mistakes and correcting those to the game that we got forward.
Mike worked on his sack celebration. Do you have one queued up?
I'm trying, honestly. I've been trying to make a celebration for so long, and every time I try to make a celebration, my little brother tells me, no, you got to do a different one. So I ain't on Mike level yet, but I'm gonna get there eventually. I don't know, I might be too tired to do a celebration after this sack, honestly.
Anything else for Chris? I think we're good.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, thank you so